Shalom, shalom, followers of Yeshua, like me. I was got motivated to create another video here. And so, first of all, I want you guys to know I do not accept donations. We don't sell anything. All this information is 100% free, and the videos are not monetized. You can take anything you want. Anyway, let's talk about a scripture written about Christians, and they don't even know it. The Hebrew Bible is Genesis through Revelation. Let me tell you that again. The Hebrew Bible is Genesis through Revelation. Christians had nothing to do with the writing of the entire Bible. Absolutely nothing. Yes, that's right. The prophets and apostles all belong to Israel, who wrote the whole thing. Ironic that the pagans called Matthew through Revelation the Christian Greek scriptures, when that is the furthest thing from the truth. The Christians' only claim to fame is polluting the Hebrew Bible with their pagan beliefs. Yet, I do not want the Christians to feel left out. In fact, there is a specific scripture that is all about Christianity. Notice I say it's about Christianity and not for Christianity. So without further ado, let's indulge their ego and let them know where this scripture is that is specifically about them. Here it is found at Matthew 7:15 through 23. Beware of the false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorns, or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Yeshua was amazing with his insight. He knew the robbers would come and steal the Hebrew writings and claim it as their own, and infect it with their pagan beliefs. Notice the first line, beware of false prophets. Wow! If this does not apply to the Christian faith, nothing does. How many times have they predicted end and doom for mankind? Is it not abundantly obvious? We can write volumes on their false predictions and all the cults that spawn from them. Yes, they truly have come to us in sheep's clothing, only to reveal the ravenous wolves they truly are. Fruits of Christianity. Just look at these fruits, will you? Look at all the madness they inspire. These are the fruits that the Master told us to look at. He asks us a very insightful question. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Death, hatred, division, war, violence, greed, you name it. These are Christian fruits down through the centuries. How many times have you heard a Christian preaching people into hell? Just take a simple look at their history and indulgences. It is a very corrupt tree. Even to this day, Christian nations kill and deceive every day, and they justify it with their twisted interpretation of the scriptures. Notice that every Christian channel on YouTube asks for money and monetize their videos, even when the Master said this at Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. Yet, like everything else, they totally ignore it, like the Master never even said it. Objections. So I get a lot of pushback on this, and Christians state that they do a lot of good in the world. Well, their kind of good they are speaking of is what everyone should be doing anyway, like feeding the hungry, attending to the sick, providing for orphans and widows. They claim this makes them good. This is their claim to fame. But I tell you the truth, Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, and many other pagan faiths do the exact same thing. This is no identifying mark of a true faith. Obeying the commands of God and the ministry of Yeshua and love for one another is what makes a true faith. It is a known fact that Christian missionaries would go and indoctrinate into the Christian faith while persecuting and marginalizing those that did not want to convert. Let's not forget what they did to the Jews either, the very ones that gave them the Hebrew Bible. The persecution of non-converts took many forms, from forceful coercion to deliberate cultural destruction. What will happen to Christianity? Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. This is exactly what will happen to the Christian faith. Listen to what the Master says, and tell me, does this remind you of anyone? This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Matthew 15:8 and 9. Of course it does. Christians teach that the devil is in charge of hell, heaven is a fairy tale, no one really dies, and the list of false doctrine and commandments of men go on and on and on in that faith. You cannot even keep track of them all. The most recent was the rapture, supposed to be on September 23rd and 24th this year. You saw what happened there. People sold their homes, gave away all their means of living, and now they're destitute. How long will they keep believing the lie of Christianity? Not everyone's saying, Lord, Lord. Now, here we get to the nitty-gritty of the Master's statement about Christianity. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. What is the will of the Father in heaven? That's easy for any Jew to answer, to obey the Torah and the ministry of Yeshua and to love one another. Yet a Christian will tell you that the will of the Father is to force everyone to be a Christian by all means. Fear tactics, emotional manipulation, the ends justifies the means to them. In contrast, the will of the Father is to be obedient. Notice this scripture. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Yeshua is telling us that at John 14:15. What are the commandments Yeshua is speaking of here? What were the commandments that existed in Yeshua's day? Can anyone tell me? A Jew can tell you this right away. A Christian will have to make something up, like it means become a Christian. We as Jews know exactly what the commandments are that Yeshua was speaking of. Very easy for us to open our Hebrew Bible to Exodus 20 and read them. This is what makes one good, to be obedient to the commandments of God, and let no one take that from you. The Christians will, if you let them. Now we get down to the heart of the scripture on how it's about Christians. There is no mistaking this. There is no other faith that this can be applied to or referring to. There's absolutely no other faith that matches this. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. This is Yeshua speaking to you, Christian. This is your wake-up call. Notice that last line there, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Now, what is this referencing? What is iniquity? I will tell you right here and now. It is those who do not observe the Torah given by God to man. That is right. Iniquity are all those that say, you do not have to observe the Torah. You don't have to observe the Sabbath of God. You don't have to observe anything that God told the Jews because you're a Christian now. Oh, you think God's commands change because you started a new religion and called it Christianity, huh? What a presumptuous and egotistical act. If Yeshua was not speaking of the Torah, what commands was he speaking of? Think about it. What existed in Yeshua's day? The Torah. He even spoke and preached the Torah. He talked about Moses. See, hope for the Christian. I want to point out something very profound about this scripture. He tells the Christians to depart from him. He does not say he is going to kill them. That's important to understand. What does this mean? Understand that many Christians are deceived. In fact, they all are. They have been born into this pagan religion like so many other pagan religions out there. Therefore, when the Master returns, he simply tells them to get away from him because of the sick and twisted and disgusting things that they believe and preach. There is no doom and gloom from the Master. He is not like them. He's not like the Christians. He is not condemning them to death at this time. He is simply telling them, get away from me because they believe and endorse false things. Therefore, they will not inherit the kingdom at this time, like the elect of God do. Why? Because they know nothing about the Torah and the law of God. Therefore, after Armageddon, when Yeshua with his elect cleanse the earth of all wickedness, they will be given the opportunity, like everyone else, to turn their lives around and obey the commandments of God during the 1,000-year reign. They will be part of the nations. The Messiah's message is a message of hope, not doom and gloom like the Christians preach. Even though the Christians have committed many atrocities, sins, and deceived people, the Messiah simply tells them to depart from him at the time of the rapture of the elect. They, the Christians, are the ones left, along with the rest, who have not understood the message of hope that the Messiah brings into the world. Shalom, shalom.